Alright, hello everyone, we're live!
I'm just saying, I prefer the color blue.
Oh fuck, now I need to mute the stream because now it's playing. Fuck.
Well, hello everybody, what's going on? Oh yeah, by the way, hey, if you do emotes in the chat, they'll show up on the fucking screen, so do that, it'll be funny.
Oh yeah,
Holy guacamole, we've got 7 viewers right now, dude.
Oh, we do?
Ow.
What the fuck, huh?
Is that us?
Yay.
oh yeah, unrelated to Higurashi, what was it? Orange.
Mm-hmm.
I got an update on that, fucking, ODST video thumbnail
nice.
that I'm working on.
That's right, I zipped up everything, I also zipped up the Reach stuff, and I'm also gonna give that to you too.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll get that shit settled up in a second. Alright! We've been letting the music just kind of fucking run for, 8 minutes or so. So I hope Mr. DMCA doesn't fucking shit us out. I don't know.
I hope they don't fucking. I hope they don't kidnap AC again and fucking steal his spleen.
Yeah, I'm still kind of recovering from that. But yeah.
I thought they stole his parents.
It afterwards when I found.
But yeah, just a little FYI, it's at the very beginning, so I imagine that should not be that hard to cut out if we upload it to the
exactly.
YouTubes.
But,
I only thought they stole your kidney.
I only
After you decided to fall into that really sketchy ass mountain of candy.
I'll share this with the rest of the class. This is the funny clip that we're making for the Halo thing. As soon as they let me fucking select it. That's very good. I'm very happy with this, Joshy. Thank you very much.
To give context, we had played through the entirety of ODST, and I had a mental breakdown because I could not find the 29th audio log. So I'm in the left, crying as AC is going nuclear.
I mean, I did beat an engineer with my bare hands. Oh man, I hope my phone didn't record that.
Ah, fucking. Alright, let's just get right into it, you know? Let's do some streaming. Here, get Higurashi loaded up. Fair warning though, as this game obviously, contains scenes.
This game contains scenes.
Just enjoy it, Cap.
This game will never stop containing scenes. It contains nothing but scenes. It's great. I love it. I love Higurashi, except for the parts where I don't love
speaking of scenes in games, one of my younger sisters recently started playing Ni no Kuni.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
I did not know Studio Ghibli did the animation and the gameplay for that.
Yeah.
It's absolutely adorable.
Orange, you're not sharing on Discord.
Oh yeah, I'm not. Okay, yeah, here, let's fix that right now.
Get that on Discord.
Alright.
We'll get through.
Alright, no more playing Cold War. I've got to pay attention.
Yep, you sure do, Jelly. Alright.
Because it takes place in the... hang on, it says mine has been disconnected on the... Oh, nope, wait, there, hold
That's
on.
a little sussy.
No. Robu, please! No! That is a little bit sussy.
If I see any of this weird little, if you see a square that resembles a spaceman, you better not say anything.
No promises.
Amogus.
Alright, who's hotel employee?
Okay.
Why
this is the banquet
Anybody
section.
can be a
Can you hear
hotel
me?
employee.
Yeah, go Robot.
I just did it.
There you
Go,
go.
white boy, go! Oh.
Okay, this is the banquet section. Can you hear me? One more. Ready? One more speech and then we'll move on to a total. Okay.
Oh, Jesus, I couldn't tell. Go ahead.
You know what? Fine, let's go. Keep going.
Okay, alright.
Fuck it, we'll do it live!
I mean, we are ready.
This is the back end. We're ready. We can't hear anything from inside, so please give us a cue when the speech is finishing up.
10 bottles per table, okay? Make sure you serve your table smoothly.
Young waiters with bow ties got bottles of beer ready for a toast. There are several dozen tables with white tablecloths on them in the banquet room. Approximately 8 people are sitting at each table. There are at least a few hundred people in there. The banquet room is teeming with excitement. There are many plates with different kinds of food on each table. A sushi platter, a sashimi platter, a fruit platter, man. Also along with the wall, there are cooks ready to serve fresh sashimi, man. All the guests appear to be well-mannered gentlemen, and obviously, they are notable people from different fields. The huge and beautiful chandelier above them clearly tells the hotel's status good enough for those famous people. An elderly gentleman is giving a long speech on the stage before making a toast. Usually people don't like such long speeches, especially if it's before a toast. But the guests are actually excited with his speech. Well, maybe fervor was a pleasant way to put it. It's probably more accurate to say that their excitement was bizarre.
Wait, I've got to go with Shelly. Isn't this literally what
This is-
we
I
fucking
remember
read at
those
the
fucking
beginning?
lines.
Yeah, I was getting
This
deja vu a
word
little
for
bit.
fucking word the beginning of the chapter that we read with Takano's point of view.
You get the wrong save file there.
No, there's only one save file.
Maybe it's getting a different perspective later.
Also, this is a new screen thing. This is from when fucking Akasaka was busting shit
Going
up.
full murder.
Yeah.
Oh, is Akasaka here now?
I don't know.
Oh my god.
Go Robert, yeah. Or, but go bone.
Anyway, Japan accepted the demand for unconditional surrender, and the day they did, the Pacific War ended. In other words, even if they had to take care of further business, the war ended that day according to international law, and from that day on, there was peace. Therefore, if any troops invaded Japanese land during that peace, that would be encroachment against Japan. No matter what the Soviet Union says, the Northern Territories are Japanese land, and it should be clear to everyone that they invaded illegally.
Everybody, here!
Yeah.
And now they want to settle by returning a mere 2 islands to us. Who do they think they're kidding? Listen, Habomai, Shigotan, Kunashir, and Iturup are Japanese territories. Their total area is equal to an entire prefecture. What do you think if the Soviets invaded and occupied one of our prefectures? Would you settle for just getting half of the prefecture back? No, you wouldn't. You would have the entirety returned to you. Yet the Soviets are brazenly sitting there, claiming vested rights to the land.
Sorry to interrupt. Was that noise from your mic, or was
that was
noise
me
from
slamming my
table
desk.
as an
It
effect.
sounded like you fucking broke a piece of wood.
I slammed my
I was about
Japanese
to say,
notebook.
that
I'm
doesn't
imagining
sound
this-
like you broke
I'm imagining this fucking old man just chopping a block of wood directly next to him, and the crowd just goes, "Yeah!"
This war is the Soviets. This is no joke. We must strongly oppose this to the bitter end.
Oh, I just now noticed you're doing President Nixon.
I just kind of am doing old man gravelly voice, but I guess
It
that
sounds
is
like Nixon.
Sounds like someone's breaking in.
Just a storm, Dick. Settle down.
Return all the northern islands. Our nation must demonstrate unwavering resolve on that point.
Thunderous applause filled the banquet room. All the gentlemen agreed and expressed that they felt the same way by cheering him on. In all that hubbub, there were 2 people standing by the wall who didn't seem to fit in with the rest.
Imposters?
They were wearing sharp-looking suits, and while a little too old to be called young men, were certainly young compared to all the elderly gentlemen in the banquet room. I believe that this is, you, Jelly.
Okay. Oh. Check. Sorry, I just not sure how this mute works. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
You're just fine.
I know politicians always tend to lead right or nationalist.
I need to fucking turn you up, because holy shit, the music, the funk is overpowering you at the moment.
The Street Fighter 3
Overpowering
music.
funk.
Toot. Beep beep.
He's so partisan.
That's simple. The politician wants most of votes. The votes are cast by their constituents. Not everyone over 20 actually votes. Voter turnout is highest among those who are retired and have free time. The elderly interested in politics monopolize the votes.
That's why. Sorry, and that means the key to their election is whether or not they can secure the elderly vote.
The war only happened 40 years ago. In other words, the generation that's interested in voting in this generation, in the generation from before the war.
Well, there are talks about the air raids often. She used to live near Suidobashi, and she lost all her family in an air raid. She had to walk all the way across the burnt fields all alone.
That's right. My parents went through the war. They shed their blood, sweat, and tears, leaving us for the good of the nation. We lost the war, but they believe the war still brought about change and serves as the foundation for the peace we have today.
I hear that a lot. And if Japan hadn't fought in the war, the Asian countries would still be Western colonies. There's no way we could have won, but we need to fight in the war, something like that.
In that case, no matter how much they preach pacifism, politicians can't ignore the pre-war generation. War is bad, and we should never again have to fight in a war. But that was necessary. That war was necessary. Fuck. Let's say things like that. It's like they're denying the very lives that this generation lived.
Say. Politicians have to work hard to earn votes, huh?
However, it'd be one thing if they were truly proclaiming their own beliefs, but many of them are simply saying it to get elected. As long as there are politicians trying to win over what remains of the pre-war generation, this country's post-war era will never end.
How the ghosts of the war will pass their way on to the next generation. Things the same for the next millennium.
Just to be safe, I'm gonna turn on the audio a little bit.
I could try to speak up.
No. You know, like you're fine. Like you were a little bit louder than that. It's hard for me to hear because it's like I'm lowering the volume on the stream deck, but it's still fucking blistering my ears at the moment. So don't worry, I'll decrease the volume a little bit on their end. All right.
I'll just keep repeating the war was justified, yet regrettable every time an election takes place. Will our country ever be freed from that cycle?
It's simple. Young people need to vote. Don't be fooled by war stories. Vote for those actually pushing policies. Realistic policies, that is.
Yeah. There are a few that talk about some pretty unrealistic things. Akasaka-san, isn't that the F table?
There she is. Let's go. The speech ended and the elderly gentlemen were giving the man on the stage a standing ovation. The two men walked through the crowd and approached an old lady in a kimono.
Yes. That would be me, but who are you?
I made an appointment with you on the phone yesterday. I'm Akasaka.
Oh. Oh. Oh, my husband worked so hard for this country. Even so.
What the fuck is going on?
Madam, I understand what you're going through.
He's drunk off her ass.
Wasn't really anything out of the ordinary. Nobody could remember if there had been a donation or not. So a handful of politicians were questioned. As a result, some came up with a scheme to blame a sick, elderly man who had already retired. Only a short time left to live, anyway. He was a perfect fit for him. The elderly man had already been sick in bed, and the shock of his friends betraying him had taken away his will to live. The one thing his wife could do was simply watch him suffer. She kept crying while telling the men about her husband's achievements. Your husband is, in fact, innocent. A judge will rule accordingly. Don't worry. All false accusations will be cleared.
I already know that. Because he is innocent. But he won't live to see the verdict. It's the problem. He worked so hard for this country. And this is what he gets in return at the end? How can he rest in peace?
Akasaka nodded and tried to find the right words to say to her. His colleague rummaged through a pile of paperwork behind him. The papers were filled with fine print, and it'd be hard for an onlooker to tell exactly what they are. However, the way he was looking at them made it very clear that they contained something important.
Akasaka-san, this is amazing. This record's exactly how the money was moved.
Akasaka gave him a signal to remind him that this wasn't the place to be looking through these documents. Madam, isn't any more paperwork, is there?
No. That was the only thing in his safe. Please, use it to get back at those ungrateful bastards. My husband did so much for them, and yet they just... Oh...
Madam, you do understand that there are some things in these documents that will implicate him, don't you?
Yes, I understand that. One can't be honest all the time when one is a politician. Haven't you read Night Court? I'm his wife, after all.
Thank you for your cooperation. I'll use it to expose the injustice that was done to him.
Only one thing. May I ask you just one thing, though? Could you wait until my husband passes away before making this public?
The paperwork Akasaka received is something her husband intended to take to the grave with him.
It's Columbo.
Something that shouldn't exist in this world. If it went public, her husband's name would be disgraced. Akasaka nodded. I understand. You have my word. Vast public funds were moving from Kasumi Gasaki, or Gaseki. The funds were issued to sub-branches to carry out national policies. But various ideas over the public funds always came together, and there was never an end to those trying to poke a straw into it to suck it out like a mosquito. Excess dividends, cordial patronage, profits for organizations that benefited themselves. Many financiers approached and adhered to the officials and politicians, hoping to earn those gains. And the bureaucrats constantly indulged them. That's how Japanese corruption works. Oh, fuck me on. These illegal pipes from bypass after bypass in Kasumi Gaseki, siphoning off public funds for their profit. To find and destroy such pipes is, of course, in the national interest. But eliminating illegal expenditures isn't as simple as that. There are important people connected to those pipes. When those people are investigated, a major political scandal takes place. The reason why the government doesn't investigate such illegal expenditures is only to protect vested interests, but also because they are conscious of the damages these scandals can cause politically. To put it more succinctly, the government can't endure the pain of pushing pus out of the wound.
Ugh.
The closer the exposed subject is to the top, the greater the pain faced by the government, and that affects the cabinet approval rating. The closer the subject is to the core, the more extensive the damage is to the heart. Shit's fucked. The secret investigation Akasaka was leading was as close to the heart as it got. It caused a collapse of the administration from shock. Akasaka was tipped off that a huge amount of public funding was leaking out through an alumni organization of the 7 imperial universities. So he and his colleagues had been conducting a secret investigation into the matter for a long time.
Holy shit, why can't we read more of this story?
It sounds kind of boring, I'm gonna be honest. His target was tightly knit. But he learned the wife of one of the organization's senior members bore strong resentment towards them after her husband was made their scapegoat, and he managed to contact her. And because of that, he'd gotten his hands on extremely important documentation, or information, fuck. Now, I believe that would be, Chelly. Phil.
Okay. Good work, everyone. Almost gathered enough proof. What Akasaka-kun brought us is particularly shocking. To work hard to get it. Great work.
Thank you. Small room was filled with the boxes that were, in turn, filled with documents. Other was filled with cramped writing, too. A few of the investigators in the meeting room, which was filled with smoke, were reading the documents intensely. Their intimidating manner clearly indicated they were police officers and with a great deal of experience. Akasaka was one of those men. It had been a while since Mamoru Akasaka was transferred to the department.
Literally a Mamoru.
Yeah. He worked on the case of the kidnapping of Minister Inukai's grandson. He had been a rookie, but now he was an experienced investigator. Through a knock on the door, an elderly man entered the room. Everyone straightened up all at once.
Sure. Thank you for standing by.
Stopping
by.
I forget who.
Am I also doing this guy?
Who is?
I think somebody else was doing the chief. You know what?
Thank you.
Yeah, okay, perfect. This works out well enough. Go ahead.
You don't.
Oh, fuck.
You don't need to stand. Relax. I brought a wonderful gift for you all today. Kano, you'll get to go to your son's Parents' Day meeting after all.
The meeting room was filled with slight tingles and with exasperation and resignation. Certainly wasn't because of them. Any of them hated getting to go to Parents' Day. Kelly, you.
Sorry. Knew it. Thought it was about time. Shit.
Akasaka's colleague complained. They had been so close to getting to the root of the issue. They had such strong evidence. Akasaka, on his part, wasn't too disturbed. This had happened several times in the past, and considering how hot the documents he obtained were, it was easy enough to predict. The case was suddenly transferred to another department. That meant their investigation ended here. The department was supposed to continue the investigation to expose injustices, but that's never happened once before. It was just an excuse. The investigation had been terminated because of pressure from above.
Damn it! About everything we've worked for so far.
Just to see how much it hurt to push out the pus. The rest would be too painful, so they decided to treat the wound. In that sense, their hard work wasn't wasted. Because of it, the investigation was terminated. Akasaka understood that, but his colleague wasn't yet mature enough to understand. Of course, Akasaka's sense of judgment was displeased by this. He felt frustrated with his superiors who had hesitated to expose the truth. But he was mature enough to know to say that out loud.
We'll organize what we have and we'll hand it over to the other end later. Anyway, since you haven't had a day off for a long time, you don't have to wait until 5 p.m. to leave today. Please go home and get some rest. We'll talk about what's left to do tomorrow. Also, don't forget to use up your vacation time too. Make sure you have to take a vacation and give a treat to your spouses. Please come with me. And that will be all.
Officers in
Yes,
general.
sir.
Yes, sir.
So true.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
So true, King. So
Yes, sir.
true.
Yes.
Yeah. There was long secret investigation left a bad taste in his mouth with his resolution. He managed to earn a holiday until the next incident arrived. Well, I guess we'll do as he says. Everyone, go home and get some rest. Who wants to be a public safety official?
If you go home, okay.
Never mind.
Noir, go. Noir.
Noir.
If you go home that early, you might find out your wife's having an affair, you know.
Mass, you don't know anything. Saka-san and his wife are madly in love. It's literally all he talks about. Calls her every night from a public payphone in a different building.
I envy you, Akasaka. My wife's pretty cold.
Is it because you have a meat locker or something? Akasaka smiled bitterly as he gathered the documents in his hands. One of the pages fell to the floor. It was a page from a huge pile of papers documenting illegal expenditures. They exposed the illegal expenditures of the Alphabet Project, the research team from the next generation of hardware in the Defense Agency. It's entirely possible that this project was created in the first place for the purpose of funneling those illegal expenditures. When he saw the paper, one thing caught Akasaka's eye. He picked it up, looked at it, and tried to remember. It was a list of people who was illegally receiving public funds. It was a list of retirees who were still very much in love with money. Should have been no connection between those people and Akasaka. However, there was one thing that caused attention. The Irie Clinic? As soon as he said it, all sorts of memories resurfaced. He's having a brain blast. Yes! The Irie Clinic. When he was working on the case of Minister Inukai's grandson's abduction, he got into a scuffle with the suspects and became injured. He was taken to the local clinic. As you recall, the name of that clinic was the Irie Clinic. I remember one thing after another. His very first experience was with wading into the muck. It burned into his mind like a fresh memory. He could vividly recall everything that happened. His daughter was about to be born, and he really didn't want to go into Hinamizawa. He met Oishi, who taught him a lot of important things. He also met a girl in that village. Her name was, yes, Rika Furaday.
That was yes.
He just really likes Roundabout. That was it. How long had it been? How old was she now? He remembered her lovely smile. He also remembered the ominous prediction that she made. She had predicted that if he didn't go back to Tokyo, something terrible would happen. At the time, he took it as nonsense. But he felt something odd about it, and as if it was a divine omen. And he remembered Yukie, who was about to give birth. He became concerned that something terrible would happen to her. But he couldn't just leave and go back to Tokyo. That's why he called her right away. He told her something would happen. He told her to be very careful until he returned. Yukie had laughed and told him that he was being paranoid, but that phone call indeed saved her from a calamity. Calamity Ganon. Akasaka found out about that when he visited her after returning to Tokyo. A few days after his phone call, a janitor was seriously injured when he stepped onto a loose tile on the stairs on his way to the rooftop. A life for a life, if you will. He had heard afterwards about Yukie having a habit of going up to the roof for a walk every day. Because of his phone call, she had stopped doing it. If he hadn't called her, she wouldn't have been the one to step on the loose tile. In other words, Rika Furuday's prediction had been correct. There was no proof. But Akasaka still believed that he was about to save Yukie only because of Rika Furuday's prediction. He intended to call her and thank her for saving Yukie. The busy days that followed put it out of his mind. Rika-chan. He wondered if she was still doing well, if she was still smiling. And standing in front of that background that was only introduced in this chapter, Akasaka remembered the sad prediction that she made on the night under the moon while still wearing that smile. That's right. He'd said something. She predicted someone would get killed on the night of the festival every year, and on the 5th year, she'd be the one that would be killed. That's right, he thought. She did say that. The 5th year. That's this year! The festival is. That's right. It's in June. If you remembered correctly, it happens on the last Sunday of the month. Akasaka looked at the calendar. It was June 1983. There was still some time, the death she predicted for herself was coming up. The girl who predicted Yukie's accident also prophesied a mysterious incident that would occur annually for the next 5 years. If it actually been happening, then it would happen again this year. Akasaka wondered if Oishi was still at the Okunomiya PD. If the annual incident she predicted actually was taking place, he would know. In other words, he can confirm if Rika Furaday was going to be killed or not with the phone call to Oishi. The girl who predicted her own death had muttered that she didn't want to die. Muttered. No. It was clearly a plea for help. A young girl who was trapped in the fathomless, bizarre traditions of a village she couldn't escape had sought help from him, an outsider. She paid his reward in advance. She paid his... for foreseeing Yukie's accident. He had to get to her. He had to go save her. A flood of emotions filled him up. As though he would finally remember something he was never supposed to forget. That's right. He had to go to Hinamizawa. He had to save the girl who asked him for help.
Hello, Okunomiya PD?
Hello. Is Kurado Oichi still working in your investigation department? If he is, may I talk with him, please?
Excuse me, may I ask who is calling?
Could you tell him it's Akasaka from the police headquarters? Oishi was a very lively person, but he had been old even back then. Maybe he already transferred somewhere else, or maybe he had since retired. But if he was still there, he'd be happy to hear from Akasaka. He sure had a unique laugh.
Oishi-san! There's a phone call for you. Someone from the police headquarters in Tokyo?
Tokyo? Who could that be? Hello, this is Oishi. What? My oh my! And how have you been?
All of the warriors are coming together tonight, boys!
Everyone is here!
All of the
Everyone
warriors
is here.
We got John.
You didn't make a
We
dry
got
ass. Let's go.
Pitbull. We got Pit Dog Pitbull up in the building.
Oh, we got a
AK-47.
little achievement called the first miracle.
And it's Hanyu's eye.
Yeah, it is. Oh, you guys can see
Got
the
the
Okay, I
KM74.
posted that meme about the duck.
There are no new
There's a
tips
good edit
available.
for that.
I want to pet our horns.
I gotta find the funny.
Pardon
the
me,
funny
sorry,
meme
that
I
was
made
right in the
ages
mic.
ago. Where the fuck did I put it?
In your mom.
Did I put it in Higurashi or did I put it in shit? Anyways, it's just a picture of Hinamizawa, and I overlaid the Resident Evil Village logo on it.
Wadi. What does that even mean?
Oh god damn it, Noir, no! Do not remind me of that horrible abomination of a song. I already got it out of my head at this point.
That one? No! Stuck in my head!
No!
Fuck!
No!
I'm assuming that this
no.
is Keiichi. I'm gonna assume it's Keiichi. Honey already grown to be.
We're dead.
Honey already grown used to being around us. Since Rika-chan and Satoko are her age, she'd become especially close with them. I was right. Of course, Rena and Mion are looking after her too. I'm still the main character! Me! Rena told me something that day that Rena told me something the day that Hanyu joined the class. She said that Hanyu had been close to us for a long time. And she'd always been watching us play. She always wanted to join. I still can't remember seeing her before. But somehow I can believe it. Hanyu has accepted all these things that surprised me at first, as if she knew about them all along. She knows everything about us. It seems like she's truly excited about finally being able to join us.
Oh, sorry, one sec.
No problem, take your time.
Accidentally clicked the wrong thing. Here goes.
Hanyu's definitely part of our group now.
She sure is. Also, she's been one of us It just almost feels like she's been one of us this whole time. It can't be true, though.
No, it is. It's been by our side all this time.
Huh? Are you saying that now, too? You told me that a couple days ago. Is it just that I didn't notice?
It's because you're dense, Keiichi. Me.
Fine. So what if I'm dense?
Sorry, I got distracted by the sweet bro and hella Jeff. Don't post Homestuck stuff without me knowing, okay?
I warned
otherwise
you
I'm
about
gonna
the
go off.
stairs, bro.
It's not even that sweet bro and hella Jeff.
That's the only sweet bro and hella Jeff thing I know.
That's the one everybody knows.
I warned you about stairs, bro.
I told you, dog.
Yeah, especially the one in the woods. Never go up those stairs.
Ow, 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 wow, wow, wow.
I see those stairs every night in the woods.
Why are you two sitting down? Are you tired?
Oh, fuck.
You never feel tired, Hanyu. Meanwhile, we're exhausted. It's because I waited so long to be able to play with you all. This isn't nearly enough. I want to play more and more.
You're full of energy. By the way, those things on your head. Don't they fall off when you play? Hanyu has horns on her head. I thought it was a hair accessory of sorts, but I didn't want to lose it while playing, and I was going to offer to hold it for her while she ran around. Hanyu's face clouded over. Why did you just post a picture of stairs, Crimson?
Yes, they're there. They're always there. There's stairs in the woods.
I'm sure there are. And she apologized. Hanyu's face clouded over, and she apologetically held onto the horns.
Ichi. Hanyu can't take them off.
Eh? I see. Sorry about that.
Is it strange to have horns?
Yes.
Quite.
No, not at all. I think it's cute.
Yeah.
It's a double check
horn between his
confirmed.
legs, don't you?
Oh no.
Yeah, but I only have one of those. Hey, wait a minute.
No, it's hard and curved
Whoa.
backwards. Ah!
I'm going to kill you, and then you're going to die.
Someone's fucking dead. Holy shit.
What kind of horn is between his legs? What kind?
Why are you blushing, Ren?
Renaissance Punch is still the one thing I can't follow. Are you quite alright, Mion-san? There's a depression in your face.
I'll make you depressed. Everyone else except Hanyu didn't seem to get it. I shouldn't have said anything. Bet she doesn't talk like a kid. Bet she doesn't like to talk. Fucking hell! Oh my god, I'm just shitting my whole ass today. I bet she doesn't like to talk about her horns. But if I try to apologize, I think things are gonna get even more complicated. I thought about what to say. Everyone took the girls over to the shrine gate.
Don't worry about it, Keiichi. Hanyu tries not to let it bother her, but she hasn't had enough training.
So she doesn't like to talk about them, huh? Sorry, I'll be more careful.
Hanyu came to Hinamizawa a very long time ago.
She did? No wonder she knows so much about the village.
I don't know where she lived before she came here.
I asked her once, but all she said there was a place that I wouldn't understand. Hanyu said that or rather, Hanyu's people couldn't live. I think this is not. I don't think this is me. I think this is Rika talking right now.
I asked her once, but all she said was it was a place I wouldn't understand. Hanyu said that she, or rather, Hanyu's people couldn't live there anymore. They looked for a new place to live for a long time. They traveled a very long way before arriving in Hinamizawa. There was a beautiful swamp in the area, and that was exactly what Hanyu's people were looking for. There was a village nearby where people lived. To show respect to the original inhabitants of an area was law among wandering people like Hanyu's. The clan decided to live peacefully and coexist with the villagers. However, their attempts to coexist didn't go so well. The villagers were too childish and immature to accept these newcomers. They strongly rejected them and caused a terrible, tragic disaster. Hanyu said she took their form and descended upon this land in order to subdue the disaster. However, she just couldn't hide her horns. Forbidden ancient documents say that Hanyu descended into the Furude Shrine, appearing as she does today. It also states the following. Hanyu's people can't live anywhere other than this village. They can also only live by coexisting with the villagers. Furude Shrine's priest once rejected them, claiming that coexistence was impossible if mixing with the wandering people's blood caused the villagers to become demons. The young heir of the Furude Shrine fell in love with Hanyu, and when their child was born, the priest had to reconsider. Random priest, go!
I guess.
Oh, wandering people who cannot hide your horns. If you wish to settle in this land, if you wish to settle with our blood, then I shall consider granting your wish.
However, as the demon's blood mixed with the villagers, it became hard to tell who was human and who was demon. The villagers began to cast suspicion on one another, haunted by that paranoia.
Us?
God damn it! Damn it,
Wait,
Robo, damn it.
So do demons exist?
Maybe?
Use low-key sus.
I wanted to go one.
Yeah, we
It really
got
is
pretty
time
far.
demons!
Yes, it's time demons. I was also referring to the Among Us.
Yeah. More like pizza.
I was also. Hey! Ah, fuck.
Unless all of that was resolved, coexistence would be impossible. For you and us to coexist, we must lay down several laws for us to follow. It will be very strict. I am very, very sorry for imposing these upon you who have lived in peace until now. However, as long as those rules are followed, the village will be free from demonic disaster.
Very well. The rules will be followed. But much blood has already been shed in the village. The anger, sins, and corruption people there cannot be cleansed. The one law of the human world is that sins are atoned for with life.
I see. If you say it's your way to let someone take on all the responsibility and bury the sins with him, then we'll do that. However, wouldn't people end up pushing responsibility on each other because nobody wants to die?
Exactly. That's the ugly demon in the world of man. No one will accept their own sins, but only foist them onto each other. Since they can only clear the balance with their lives, everyone refuses to pay, and the sins just keep adding up. Without cleansing them, they stagnate, and people cast them upon each other forever, doubting each other and passing them around.
I see. If that is the unopposable law of this world, and you yourselves are troubled by this law, and in exchange for coexisting with us, I shall grant you a world where people do not blame their sins on each other. What kind of world is it?
So long as mankind exists, they will commit sins and give rise to corruption. How could all that be erased without foisting it onto someone else?
Let me bear all the sins and corruption born from man, and purify my soul. Let all sins rest not with man. They are born upon myself, and man will not need to force them on each other.
What are you saying? Are you really going to make yourself into a sacrifice?
Someone has to take on the sins, otherwise they won't be cleansed. That's the law of your world, isn't it? A different ancient document also states the following. Of course, it's a forbidden one, too. Only the head of the Furude family is allowed to read it. Nobody else, not even the other heads of the 3 families. It tells that unrest grew in people's minds, that the villagers' evil hearts collected in the swamp and gave rise to demons. Furude's shrine's priest explained that the root of all evil is the demon god of the swamp, and led the young villagers there. By the swamp they found a demon mocking the unrest in people's hearts. Young villagers fought bravely, captured the demon, and dragged it to the Furude shrine. The priest cleansed the demon god, opened her abdomen, and dragged out her organs. Chopped them up and washed them down the stream, and threw the body in the swamp. And people regained their sanity. Those who had been suspicious of each other became friendly and all shared in the joy of peace again. These forbidden ancient documents are real. the object of the villagers' worship, Oyashiro-sama. Captured by the villagers, forced to bear all their sins, and torn to death. It's clearly written that the demons appeared after the unrest grew in people. Oh wait, did I cut out there?
A little bit, yeah.
In other words, the demons were forced to bear the sin of discord that rested with man long before they arrived. Yashiro-sama was a god who took on people's sins to mend conflicts between them. People eventually came to honor her, and it's said that became the foundation of faith in Oyashiro-sama. I don't understand exactly what that means. I know one thing. When none of us humans would draw the losing straw, she offered to draw it in our stead. To prove it, we cleanse our filth by letting cotton absorb it and drift it down the stream during the Watanagashi festival. There's no shame or shifting of responsibility involved. Until that system was created, we were simply demons who pushed our filth and our responsibility on each other. We still do that, honestly. Nothing really changed after that. We can only cleanse our own sins by blaming someone else and sacrificing him by cutting open his abdomen. And Hanyu took on that job. Purification ceremony without a human life. A system that forgives people for their sins. That is the origin of the cult of Oyashiro-sama, which blames not people for their sins, but the curse. Those documents were sealed away. If they weren't, people would find out that the object of their own faith was falsely blamed and killed by their own ancestors. Hanyu apologizes.
I'm gonna take a quick break because my dad was asking me something. Sorry, be back in a second. You can all talk amongst yourselves for the moment.
Alright, so they said that they were chopping up Hanyu?
Just like What Remains of Edith Finch, and I was 100% right.
Wait,
Yep,
did they...
suck it, everybody.
So wait, did they say that they were chopping up Hanyu?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's I can't believe Hanyu is Jesus.
Okay. Wait,
Yeah.
wait, is that why everything's been going bad in all the loops? Because Hanyu is simply existing?
Oh god.
What do you mean?
Like,
I mean, they
so,
explained
like,
it. It's basically just talking to has really strong will.
they're basically like, oh, Hanyu, like when the demon was slain, the village went to peace again. Then, like, when during Higurashi, Hanyu's been present, like, all the time. And we know how well that's been going.
I would need to kind of rewatch because I kind of zoned out during this part. I have ADD. I have really bad ADD.
Basically, I'll summarize it real quick. So basically, were demon people, but just existed. They wanted to coexist and essentially crossbreed with humans. But then, as a result of that, the villagers got suspicious because, hey, demons, that's not okay. And then Hanyu's like, okay, I'll become the Jesus figure for the demons, but everyone else will be chill. That's basically it.
Weird. Whack.
Demons, as Pat would say.
So were the demons just people with horns? Was that it? Or
We're all. I think they might have just been people with horns that people assumed were demons, but I don't know if the demons were real. I'm not sure.
It could be one way, it could be
I mean,
another.
Hanyu has horns and is a ghost monster.
Actually, we couldn't know.
It's interesting that, like, the only supernatural part of this was the Hanyu thing. That's it.
Yeah, basically.
Like, it's kind of weird because, like, it's almost good that it's like that, but sometimes I'm like, man, I was really looking forward to, like, defeating a demon god, and it's like, no, it's just some really pissed off, traumatized woman.
Yeah, I like the mystery.
I mean, she wants to be a god, so yeah.
She does, but it's not like she actually will become one.
Man, I hope Keiichi hits her with a bat. Just beats that woman.
Hell yeah.
I'm thinking
full
of that
camera.
scene from Yakuza 0. He beat up one of the billionaires.
Yeah.
Domination.
That scene.
That's what I'm picturing as Takano's final defeat. Complete domination. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-dum.
Oh, anybody seen any good anime lately?
No.
I've been rewatching JoJo with my brother because he wanted to watch it.
Good call on that.
We're on the Egypt part of part 3.
Okay, so you've met Iggy?
Yes, the dog that farts in people's faces.
You said you were rewatching, so you know that oh god, yeah, Robert, don't post that here. That fucking video that makes your Discord restart.
But the glitch still hasn't been patched.
But yeah, so I don't really care for part 3 that much.
It's okay.
I'm
I gotta say,
Orange is back.
part 3 though is a pretty good starting place if you want to skip parts. I know that's taboo, but if you want to, part 3 is a good place to
Look,
start.
if you're gonna skip any part, just skip 1. 2 is genuinely really good.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
One is literally just
But I feel
a
like
classic
I feel like you
Dracula
lose a
song.
little bit of context, and also part 1 isn't really that long.
Oh, what was it?
Part 1 is like 10 episodes.
Part 1 is good enough.
Part 1 has a really good condensed
Part 2
version.
is hilarious, and it's a really good bridge to the part 3.
It's like,
Part 2 is great.
it's the contrast of like, Jonathan is like
Oh,
this
no.
perfectly good, beloved individual who can do no wrong, and then you have the contrast of, look at this wacky man who pulls out Thompsons and tries to keep it on his fucking mother.
I mean, he didn't know that.
I always forget.
He just suddenly has a Tommy gun and just blows the guy away.
If you don't,
He pulls out
if you
the
don't-
Tommy.
if you don't,
And that's
if you
when
want to
he's not
skip one
punching
part, then you
cops.
should skip all parts
Thompson is
because you
very
need to watch all parts in order or read.
But I mean, hypothetically speaking,
Also-
you could just read part 7.
Yeah, the
It's
Egypt
also
part is
pretty
pretty
fucking
good.
based that in like the 80s, Araki made that thing about the smoky kid getting saved by Joseph. Back then, that's pretty fucking based.
But yeah, here we can get back into it now.
You know what else is based? Hanyu's horns.
It's true.
Yes.
Let's learn more.
All right, wait. Well, we're just gonna start, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's here.
I don't know where we're at. You did not say the last line? Alright, cool, sick. Here you go.
I already said that line.
Okay.
He takes in people's sins and keeps apologizing. When people can't deal with their own sins anymore, she accepts them.
You do kind of be Jesus, though.
Literally.
I can't believe this is the part where
Hanyu
Ryukishi was
died
sick
for our
and Zack Snyder. This is the part where Ryukishi got sick and he had to get his longtime friend Zack Snyder to fill in.
I mean, what was it? Fucking Satoko was being hung up on a cross a couple episodes ago.
Zack Snyder had
Religious imagery in
experience.
Japan
I
is
don't
indeed a
remember-
thing,
I don't-
believe it or not.
I don't want to remember Sadako getting crossified.
The cross of
Hey, Shion of all people.
You mean the
baptism of
crucifix?
Shion was like a fucking serial killer several times, but it's still.
Just head pat Satoko. She deserves head pats. She needs them.
When Hanyu takes over, people are cleansed and they're allowed to keep living. Demons take on sins by becoming cotton to absorb them. They're exterminated and washed down the stream, and then the village is forgiven. They're forgiven for their sins. If that's all true, then Hanyu, or rather Oyashiro-sama, has such a tragic existence. I've asked Hanyu about this before, and she told me the following story. Four people are stuck in a snowy mountain cabin. They play a game where each sit in one of the four corners. It's a fairly well-known story. It's in the middle of winter. They're all getting sleepy. If they fall asleep, they'll die. So one of them comes up with an idea. They're sitting in the four corners of the room, so someone just has to walk clockwise to the next corner and wake up the person sitting in that corner. The one who just walked will sit in that corner, and the one who just woke up will get up, walk to the next corner, and wake up the person sitting there. If they keep doing that, nobody will fall asleep. People who know this story won't need an explanation, but this doesn't work with 4 people. When the first person gets up, their corner becomes empty. So after everyone takes a turn, the 4th person goes to the next corner, which is an empty one. Sit down and fall asleep, so the game is over right there and everyone freezes to death. In other words, to play this game you need more than 4 people. You need one more person in order to be saved. People usually tell this as a ghost story. Usually say this was actually a group of 5 people, but one was already dead, and thanks to that ghost, they're able to continue living until the next morning. Anya once told me she's like that 5th person. If she can make everything run smoothly by joining a circle of people, then it's very similar to how the telephone game in the mountain cabin manages to function without breaking.
What is
You can create
that?
a circle that can't be realized by people alone. And those people can live peacefully. It's an existence that completes a circle. Is she bothered by her horns because it reminds her of the time when she was called a demon and punished for the sins she took in? Is her subconscious still tormenting her with thoughts that those who have horns ought to be persecuted? She was born with those horns. She was hated and abused because of them.
Really? Definitely shouldn't have said anything, huh?
And because she has those horns, she had to take in everyone's sins and cleanse them. She did that, and then she was worshipped as a god.
Huh? A god?
I was talking to myself. Forget about it.
How can I?
Dude.
Huh?
That was perfectly timed. Nobody knows who Hanyu really is. Is she really a divine existence that descended from a higher place? She's simply an unlucky girl who became a sacrifice just because she had a pair of horns. Nobody knows. This girl's blood was blended with the Furude family's blood, and that blood has descended into me. Our legends state that if the Furude family has a girl for the firstborn child for 8 generations in a row, the 8th child will be a reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama. We don't know exactly what that means. But I'm that 8th generation. Is that why I was the only person who could see Hanyu? 8 generations is a very long time. Maybe that's how long it took for all the sins Hanyu assumed to be cleared. 8 represents infinity. It's a very lucky number. Often curses uttered will contain, "I'll curse you for 7 generations," but the 8th lies beyond that. In other words, 8 possesses such good fortune that it can forgive great curses and sins that span 7 generations. It's a number with power. It's the time Hanyu needed to cleanse all the sins she took from the humans. Hanyu and her people simply wanted to coexist with us. Hanyu had to become a sacrifice. Her stomach was cut open and its contents washed down the street. It was thrown into the swamp. And so, the Day family has been waiting. They waited for a very long time for her to come back. Kept our traditions alive, waiting forever and ever for her return. According to legend, the name Furude was made by adding a horn to the letter from the character for fortune teller. Furude family rose when Hanyu's bloodline was combined with that of human beings. Hanyu is the ancestor of the Furude family, as well as the mother of us all. When I was little, Hanyu taught me a lot more things than my mother did. It's no wonder. I'm her descendant. The curse on the clan who exorcised and buried their very own mother is finally absolved after 8 generations. That seemed like an eternity. Then she met me, her descendant, final generation of the Furude family. Sometimes, when I think about that, I feel like there must be some important meaning to this hapless fate thrust upon me. What kind of meaning could the trial I face? Trial of breaking through the obstacles sealing my fate have upon the curse that plagued Hanyu and the Furude family for over a millennium. 1,000 years is simply too long a period to communicate thoughts and intentions correctly. Hanyu has become the curse we call Oyashiro-sama. Though she originally was a means of salvation, she's become a chain that binds people. The rules about coexisting were misinterpreted as a law that binds villagers to this place, and that continued until the Meiji era. And while the village winds once again blow toward the misunderstanding of isolation thanks to the dam conflict, how does that play into my meeting with Hanyu and this motley fate we're trapped in? Lived long enough to be able to understand that. The only thing I can say for sure is that the Furude family originated when Hanyu's bloodline mixed with that of humans. And the line's final descendant, I didn't get to finish reading that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, my mistake.
Me finally met with its ancestor. Furude bloodline bears a cursed history of placing all man's sins onto its mother and killing her. Now, the beginning and end of that line have met. And you always wanted to join everyone. But she couldn't hide her horns. Even so, she still wished to be an existence that completes a circle. It's a child's job to bury their parents. What, do you want to be a child?
But mother!
But mom! You can go.
I guess I'll do child. But mother! I've never heard it that it's a child's job to kill and bury their parents.
Don't ask, child. I'm not human. My horns are proof that I'm a demon. Demon's job is to take on the calamities of the human world. Burying a
Fuck! Sorry about that.
Joking on water?
Yeah, 1 sec. Actually, I have some left with me. I can only do that voice for so long before it grasps the throat, you know?
Oh, is that actually like a throat-hitting voice?
Kinda, yeah.
What? Oh god, Superman.
I am Jesus! I am Jesus!
There's Hanya.
What are these people? That is this mean?
I am Jesus! I am Jesus!
I didn't know her name was Hanyu Christ.
Hanyu Christian.
Oh, Hanya Christ.
Oh
Chan.
my god. Ooh, oh, that's good shit. Oh, that's hilarious shit. Yeah, post that in the WTC Gen Chat.
I guess you
You're
can
gonna
just
see
clip,
that.
you can just clip that if you want to, I don't know.
Just clip it. Okay.
Bring the calamities of this chaotic world and cleansing the unrest in mankind's hearts is my role.
Oh, sorry, I was writing anything. Then, Mother, why do you have to be the one? People's sins are people's sins. They aren't yours.
Listen, child. People live with their sins. They can't live without making someone else take the blame. Nobody wants to take the blame. They shift that responsibility around. That is a demon. A true demon disrupting the world of man. By bearing itself, man may be cleansed. Mankind can be freed from their destiny of doubt and conflict. Let all the sins, the filth, the karma, and the curse come to me. Attack me, purify me, flush me down the stream, and throw me in the swamp. Human will not do. It is the fate of one who is not human to accept that role. If a human were made to bear it, mankind would not be free from the demon of doubt.
That's pretty metal. Oh, I didn't. Okay. I don't understand. I don't understand, Mother. Mother, you have horns. Are you saying that you aren't human just because you have horns? And even if you are human, those horns make you not human? Even if you have horns, you're human to me.
My child, you're the only one who's ever said that. Even if everyone else calls me, or you still call me human.
Oh, I can't believe you would say that with the hard R.
What is with the XXX? What is that for?
Just censored, just because they didn't want to make a slur.
It's censored.
Oh.
They just don't care enough to make an actual.
The Furude family's many scrolls, the ones unknown to even the heads of the three families, sealed in the altar in the shrine storage. Understanding that would probably require about as much time as I've spent repeating it. But once you understand that, perhaps you'll understand the smile Hanyu wears as she innocently plays with someone.
Are you okay?
I heard Mion yell in surprise. Something must have happened.
What is it? What's going on? Need some water, Satsuko?
I'm okay. Hanyu's son tripped and tumbled down the hill over there. Hanyu-chan! Are you okay? She rolled beautifully, but I hope she didn't sprain her ankle or anything. Let's go look.
Anya's built different. She's fine.
I'm assuming it's the...
Playing on the slope and tumbled down it. There's a road just below the slope. Me and the others went down the stairs to go get her. Let's go. I hope she isn't injured.
Let's go.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
These assholes again.
Why is it when something's wrong, it's always you two?
Was Takano all along?
They look weird by that background.
Hello,
Song
everybody.
is
They're
so,
just-
like,
They're
exploitable.
lying on the stairs.
Yeah, they are!
Those stairs look huge
My name
in
is Markiplier,
comparison.
and today we're lying down on these stairs.
I lane Takano.
Have you ever...
Look at those
Hey,
fucking
Taki, have you ever heard of
stairs.
forced perspective? It's a hell of a drug.
Okay, let's back to
I
it.
see.
Why are they on the stairs? Yeah.
When I got there, I saw Tomitake-san and Takano-san. We're taking care of her.
What happened? We just rolled down the hill.
Hey, can we switch to the old background? I'm just curious what this looks like.
Yeah, sure. The exact same
That
thing.
looks better.
Yeah, a little bit. It's a little bit better.
The perspective's a
They're
little
just
less
longer.
fun.
I can't accept dad bod Tomitake though.
I can accept the big goofy.
I think we can all accept big boobies.
Why does Takano not have the
Robo, why did
sash?
you
It's
just
like
type
he
a
was
bunch of ellipses in plans?
Sorry. She did tumble beautifully, though. And I think she hit her head, so I'm sure she'll get a bump later. Make sure you put some ice on it, okay?
Hanyu!
How far away did she fucking fall?
Fell down the fucking hill and then into the road?
She fell beautifully.
How many fingers do you see?
Sounded disoriented. Oh fuck, that's you.
He sounded disoriented, but didn't appear to be injured. What a relief for everyone. Bet she's just feeling dizzy from rolling. Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad you're not hurt.
Just think though. How lucky of you to have a nurse waiting for you down here. What perfect timing.
Well, when I'm not working, I'm a wild bird photographer.
That's a lie. You're always working.
Right, Jiro-san?
Well, yeah, I guess. Hinamizawa would never get her from something like that. In other words, you're already one of us, aren't you?
Hanyu-chan? Is that your name? I've never seen you before. Are you new around here?
Yes, she is. Transferred in just last Monday.
What are these? Peculiar. Are they some kind of toy?
Takano-san tried to poke at one of Hanyu's horns. It'd be an interesting hair accessory if they were a hair accessory. That's what's cute about Hanyu-chan. Don't touch them, though.
Oh, is that so? I don't think they're that cute, though. After all, they look just like a monster.
Monster!
Holy shit!
The hit
scared
Naoki
me.
Urasawa, but
That's fucking, that's some shit right
that
there.
fucking
Holy
got
shit.
me.
Yeah, that actually scared me.
I'm glad I looked just in time because I almost missed it.
What actually just happened?
Suddenly, Hanyu moaned as. Oh, that's you, fuck.
Only Hanyu moaned as if suffocating. Takano? Hanyu isn't a monster. Don't ever say that again.
That's right, Takano-san. That was mean.
Sorry, I didn't mean it to be rude.
I feel like you kinda did, though. Oh, I guess,
Not
Riki-chan's
being
over there.
rude, I just called her a monster. What?
I called her Hamonstar from
look,
the
I
hit,
might
the hit
be
movie
into you
Space
all, but calling a
Jam.
little child a monster is a little fucked up, you know?
Look, just because I kicked that baby doesn't mean I was being mean.
Hey, I was referencing Skillet Monster.
And I'm doing everything I can to get Skillet out of my eyes.
We should play Left 4
Whose
Dead.
perspective is it now?
Alright, anyways. I'm pretty sure this is mine because it's talking about Rika-chan. Rika-chan said it rather firmly. I'm sure Hanyu doesn't want to hear that word. Sometimes Takano says things in a derogatory without realizing it herself. She's accidentally kind of racist. I guess there's just things you can't or shouldn't say. So true. And he's looking at Takano-san with a complicated look on her face. In the expression, Takano-san realized she might have hurt her feelings. She apologized and left with Tomitake-san.
You okay? You landed beautifully too, so you're not injured. You call a person. Her? That's Takano. Takano.
Oh.
Takano.
Hanyu repeated Takano-san's name. All of a sudden, I grew worried that she hit her head or something. Honey stood straight up and grabbed Rika-chan's collar.
It's Takano! 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 That's right, she's Takano. No! Rika! Takano! Takano! Do you remember? I know. Mio Takano, right? From the Urea Clinic. You can't remember? Sorry, Hanyu. What are you talking about? Rika? This can't be. This is the last one. The last one. Finally imprinted herself the true enemy's name, while enduring the pain of her stomach being cut open. And yet she can't remember. Rika Furude has failed to inherit the memory of the fragments.
Well, shit.
No, she didn't.
All those recaps were for nothing.
Exactly.
So, man. The cost of
Press
having
racism
the
to
cost of
disable
having Hanyu be a
memories.
part of the story was Rika not getting her memories.
So that means, fucking, what was it? At the cost of Rika losing all her fucking, memories of the loops, it's, Hanyu gets
Gain
to
the
stay
final
in the...
piece, but you lose all your save data.
Yeah.
Essentially, what
This
just
truly
happened.
is the near replicant
They're probably gonna turn into a happy ending because it's like, oh, I didn't remember all the horrible things. And
I
so
would get a drink, but I know, but I have a feeling Kumagai is gonna pop up just to
Anyways.
spite me in my hydration.
It's not gonna happen. Kumagai's not gonna show right now.
Long time
Crazy
no
Pop on me
see.
this way. I'm gonna go correct.
Oh, Ishi-san, you haven't changed a bit.
Oh.
What are you saying? I've been on apple diet lately and I've lost a few pounds. Can't you tell?
That never works.
I just gotta look at you! You look great! Well, I have to stay in shape for my job. I forget, who the fuck is Hondaya?
Oh, fuck. Hondaya, who is Hondaya?
Who cares? He hasn't shown up yet. Someone just do Hondaya.
Hey, Kuro-chan, is this the guy? The one who came here a few years ago from Tokyo?
Nice to see you again, too, Hondaya-san. It has been a while.
My, look at you. Must be nice to be so young.
Well, since you came such a long way, let's just head to a restaurant. I'm a regular there, and I'm sure we can get it before it opens.
Oh,
Come on!
Come on.
Ishi-san, are you sure? There's still some work to do. What? Not at all, boy! I'm on a special training with a mission investigator from Tokyo headquarters. Come on, let's get going. Oh wait, I've gotta make a phone call first. They're greenhorns compared to someone like you. I put some help together for us. Ah, there you are. Kuma-chan! Do you want to come play with us tonight? Oh, Ishi-san, you really haven't changed a bit.
I lost it!
Akasaki is the thing that Oishi wasn't serious enough about work. After experiencing many different things in the real world, that preconception had completely disappeared. Oishi is that way because of his experience. It's not supposed to take things seriously. In this world, sometimes being that frank can help. In Akasaki's case, people often tell him to relax more. But in Oishi-san's case, maybe we should straighten out a little. Come on! Akasaka-san, let's go! Let's fucking go! Yes, at once! Yeah, good answer. You sound like a veteran police officer now. Glad to hear it. The old Akasaka would have thought that Oishi was making fun of him. By now, he could take it as an honest assessment. AC, goddammit. Boy, you sure can drink now, Akasaka-san. How do I keep up with you? Must be true that when one gets old, he can't drink as much as before. You're too modest. I don't just better because an intelligence officer has to be able to hold his liquor. I have a budget set aside at all times for training with my young colleagues. Japanese sake, Western liquor, Chinese liquor, whatever! Sometimes I drink at little bars and sometimes at expensive clubs. That sounds pretty good. I'll join you to coach them sometime. Yeah, please come teach us your tricks. Young guys nowadays often talk about how they can't drink. I couldn't drink at all at first, you know. The more you drink, the better your body adjusts to alcohol. And the more you enjoy drinking, you'll start a crippling addiction. That's right! Are you listening, Kuma-chan?
Yeah, I heard.
Me.
I could down quite a few now.
Random and for forensic investigator.
No, really,
No,
you're right.
really,
Okay.
Noir did it first.
Nor.
When you first teamed up with Oishi, you were already drinking oolong tea with the toast.
That's no good. This has a very important meaning. If you don't drink any alcohol, you're saying you're not satisfied with the party. So when I see young people like that, I tell them. I'm not saying they have to drink up in one gulp, but your first shot has to be at least a medium mug. When Akasaka first came to Okuniya, he was very nervous. There was no trace of that tension left in him. Seeing that, Oishi realized just how much Akasaka had learned in the past few years. There you go, Akasaka-san. Man, you've really grown a lot more dependable. During the years I've been waiting to retire, you've grown up so much. I could cry. Might be time for the younger generation to take over, huh? That's not true. One thing I've learned is the only thing that matters is experience. Leave the hard labor and the crime scene to us young officers, while you veterans take pride in your desks and work us to the bone. Did you hear that, Kuma-chan? Did you?
Okay, I heard him. I'll give it everything I've got.
Oishi Kumagai-kun's already giving it everything he's got. He's diligent about his patrols to make up for your distaste of them.
You know how Oishi-san is, right? I've been with him for a few days, but I understand what you're going through. Even so, he'll make you into a good cop. Just believe in him.
Yes, sir. I'll do my best. But even if I learn how to drink, I can't learn how to be good at mahjong. Oishi-san takes all of my pay before I can give it to my wife.
Mahjong is the intellectual baggage you need. The more you play, the more confident you get. Let's play together later. I'll teach you how to not lose.
Oishi, he's a good guy, huh? He kinda reminds me of how you were when you were young.
Oh, fucking young. That can't be. I wasn't nearly as handsome. It wasn't usual for Oishi to enjoy anybody's company this much. Akasaka and Oishi only worked together for a few days. She had some holiday cards since, but that was about it. Oishi had no idea how happy it would make him to see such a greenhorn grow into a dependable cop. Oishi always thought he wanted to be active until the day he retired. After seeing such a dependable colleague, he began to think that maybe it was time for him to step down. Oishi and Akasaka enjoyed the reunion more than they thought they would. Transition. The owner of the place was bringing the electric sign inside. All the chairs were up on the tables, and the owner's wife was cleaning the floor. There was nobody else around. Judging by the clock, it was almost 3 a.m. What?
Master of the store. Owner.
Oh. Guess I could do this one if you want.
Sure.
Okay. This is a reunion, right, Kuda-chan? Take your time, okay? Wake me up when you leave so I can lock the door.
Sorry about this. Thank you. There wouldn't be anything else open at such a late hour. Oishi and his colleagues still wanted to talk, so they decided to stay. Kumagai couldn't fight his sleepiness and was nodding off. You're talking about Akasaka's job.
And I kicked that Russian terrorist in the face.
I punched his fucking lightweight. That hasn't happened yet. Oh, shit.
Technically, it didn't happen because this is a different timeline.
Yeah, good point.
Snake, you've created a time paradox.
Snake, you've created a time paradox. Dun 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 dun
dun dun.
Akasaka! Akasaka! Akasaka!
Akasaka works at a department specializing in public safety. It's called Foxhound. I wish you guys were interested in all his stories of danger and bravery. Anyway, I want to meet with Rika Furude. By Rika Furude, you mean the orphaned daughter of the Furude family? Orphaned? What happened to her parents? Rika Furude predicted there would be an incident in Hinamizawa every year for the following 5 years. Her parents, according to her, were supposed to be killed in the 3rd year running. Yeah, it was the 3rd year of the curse of Oyashiro-sama. 1981. Must have been. The Furude couple died rather suspiciously. It was 3 years after you came to Hinamizawa, Akasaka-san. You wouldn't know anything about that, would you, Kumagai? 3 years. Happened in June, 3 years after I visited? Yeah, that's about right. Why? Something about that bothers you? Akasaka shut his eyes tightly to chase away the alcohol in his brain and try to remember the girl's prediction. Yeah, and after all, come here to confirm it. I came here in 1978. I was and what about the damn construction site manager? Oh, that's the guy I played mahjong with. How's he been doing? It was in the newspaper, I think. He was just the local ones. Well, he was killed in a fight with the other workers that year. Rika Furude predicted that he killed in a gruesome way, that his body would be dismembered. Was he mutilated? See, you know about it already! That's exactly it. His right arm is still missing, too. It's so unfortunate. The following year, on the same day, in June 1980, Satoko's parents will be pushed into their deaths. Maybe it should be called an accident. A lamentable accident. I'll continue. The following year, the year after the manager's death. I think, let's see, I know. Satoko-san it was. I think she's a little girl. Did her parents die in an accident? Oh, how much do you already know? That's right. The dam supporters, the Hojo couple, fell off a cliff while on vacation. Though it still hasn't been confirmed if it was still an accident or an incident. In the following year, on the same day, in June of 1981, my parents will be killed. And the following year... Yes. Rika Furude's parents died. None of those incidents make sense.
You sure know a lot about the curse of Oyashiro-sama. None of those incidents were made public because of pressure from the locals, so I'm surprised at how much you know about them.
Oh, I've been told that, at least... We've talked about Oyashiro-sama about 7 times now? I can't believe this.
But even you can't know about the following year. Because starting with the 4th year in a row, we decided to investigate secretly.
I think I know about it anyway. And the following year on the same day, in June of 1982, Satoko's mean aunt will die. Her head will be smashed in. The following year, that was last year, Satoko-san from earlier, wasn't her aunt beaten to death? Shit, you're right. Akasaka-san, how do you know so much? I think I'll know who'll be killed the year after that.
Oh, what are you saying? Besides, the year after last means it's this year.
I'll be killed. It'll be in June of 1983. In other words, this month. Rika Furude will be killed. I wish you knew I was at a loss for words. Akasaka talked about the 4 mysterious incidents. Although he had been far away, he belonged to a very special unit of public safety. It could have been possible for him to find out about their secret investigations. That's why it wasn't that odd for Akasaka to mention the series of mysterious deaths, even though he had been far away from Hinamizawa. However, not only did he not know about them, but he also named the next victim. Oishi and his coworkers had sobered up entirely.
Akasaka-san, it's getting late. We're all exhausted, let me get to the bottom of this. What is it that you're trying to say?
Okay. All this is what she told me when I was in Hinamizawa in June of 1978.
What?
Oishi could not believe what he was hearing. He was left speechless. I know it's hard to believe. Actually, back then, I thought she was just being a mischievous little girl. She told me she was going to be killed in the 5th year running. In other words, she asked me to help her, I think. The main person my visit was in Hinamizawa this time is to find her and ask her if she still needed my help.
Akasaka-san, I'm retiring this year. I want to take revenge on the people who killed the manager on the 1st year. I'll jump on any lead I can find. So let me just confirm this with you. What you just said isn't a joke, is it? If it is, you had better tell me right now.
I'm telling you the truth. Rika Furade told me this in June of 1978. At the time, I didn't think anything of it, so I didn't tell you about it. I'm very sorry.
No, you didn't know. Even if you had told me, I don't think I would have believed you. It's only because it happened 4 years in a row do we believe you now.
Oishi must have been thinking that if only Akasaka had told him that back then, that he could have saved his friend. What the old man from forensics had just said was right too. Oishi wouldn't have believed him back then. And his friend would have died anyway. And Oishi would have been left with a regret in not being able to do anything.
That's true. I should be the one apologizing. Still, Rika Furade. Wait, why Rika Furade?
I don't know exactly what's going on in Hinamizawa right now. I read in the papers that the dam construction plan was halted indefinitely. But I assume that Hinamizawa is peaceful now.
The dam conflict is over, yeah. But starting the following year, these mysterious deaths, known locally as the Curse of Oyashiro-sama, started to occur annually. And it played out just like you said.
I think she entrusted me with something extremely important. Oishi-san, let me ask you. It's possible for Rika Furade to be killed this year?
And the Furade couple was held in low regard for being so passive during the dam conflict. This must be the reason why the curse fell upon them in the 3rd year. Though I do think that Rika Furade's death.
It's possible, isn't it? Oishi nodded slowly. I'm gonna try and get in touch with Rika Furade tomorrow. I think the best thing to do is talk to her directly.
Can I come with you, Akasaka-san? The story about Rika Furade sounds like something very important for me, too.
Ara. You've come bearing quite the incredible gift. I'm getting a bit intrigued myself. I never thought I'd see the day when all the mysteries were solved.
Well, I have some questions too. For instance, why did you tell me something this important? If she wanted help, why didn't she ask the local police? Why me? A guy on a business trip from Tokyo.
I bet she doesn't have the faith in the local police. I'm a little unrefined. Rika-san probably doesn't trust me. Besides, there are a lot of people with connections to the Sonozaki family at the Okunomiya PD.
In other words, she trusted me, the guy who came from Tokyo, more than anybody.
Yeah, I guess.
If that's the case, Oishi-san, please don't tell anybody else about this.
Of course I won't. Anyway, let's head directly to Hinamizawa tomorrow and have a talk with Rika-san. We can start from there.
Transition.
On
Transition.
Star Wars.
Transition.
Seed swipes.
Text.
To believe. Hang on, my mic. It's hard to believe, but truth, isn't it? It was the middle of the night. Only the sound of insects and Satoko snoring could be heard. Rika was... Oh. Fuck. Rika was sitting in by her favorite window. Yes. Takano was the one who killed you, Rika. You and I both saw it. I tried so hard to remember Takano's face. Even as she cut your stomach open, you burned her face into your memory while enduring all that pain. It's a horrible way to die. I'm glad I don't remember. But I can see it. The kind of death Takano would prefer. Still, I don't get it. Why would Takano kill me? I'm the Queen Carrier, and if I die, a disaster will occur, right? Isn't that why the Irie Institute and the Mountain Dogs are protecting me? And why would Takano, their leader, have me killed? Sorry, that was a useless question. Takano killed me. It's the truth, and her motive doesn't matter, does it? But still... Why Takano? Although she just said that the motive didn't matter, Rika went back to the same question. The reason why Takano was protecting the Queen Carrier wasn't because she wanted to prevent the rest of Hinamizawa from developing the syndrome. It was because the Queen Carrier was an extremely valuable subject of her research. And considering that value, why did she kill the Queen Carrier with her own two hands? Is Takano my only enemy? Mountain Dogs are after you too. I don't know if Irie is your enemy or not. I don't think he is. Takano and the Mountain Dogs are my enemies. Gotta be kidding me. How can we possibly win? There's no way. Unless there's a miracle of some kind, we can't fight against people like them. Besides, Watanagashi is this Sunday. He'll be killed on the 22nd. It's in about a week or so, right? How can we beat them in such a short amount of time? Should we try going after Takano with a metal bat? That won't work, she's only one of them. And if we take her out, the Mountain Dogs will still get us. We do. Should we do? I don't know either. But didn't even know our enemy before now. This time, we do. Must be something we can do. This was the first time in a long time that Hanyu had spoken so positively. I was startled for a moment and realized she was losing her cool. She took a breath and tried to calm herself down. She was still confused that Takano was the culprit. God always thought of Takano as her ally. There were, after all, many reasons why Takano should treat her well. Rika couldn't even think of one reason why Takano would want to kill her. Oh, Takano was always thinking about bizarre things. There was no guarantee that a crazy idea of hers couldn't become a motive. That means Tomitake is killed. He... an ally? I think he is. It's an idea, Rika. We should talk to Tomitake. Takano was accompanied by the mountain dogs because of an organization named Tokyo. Could Rika ask for help only from someone affiliated with that organization? In that case, Tomitake was the only one she could talk to about the issue. Well, Irie might also be worth having a talk with. Then, was why she needed to know. She needed to know why Takano wanted to kill her. Unless she could explain that, probably wouldn't even believe her. Besides, Tomitake was in love with Takano. Wouldn't doubt her so easily. Irie seemed to be keeping a little distance from Takano. Might be a little more inclined to believe. As someone who was simply a doctor, he knew little about Tokyo. Might end up being useless to Rika. Should she call the police? No way. Definitely no way. There was no way they would believe her. If she were to make a call and say a strange organization named Tokyo was trying to kill her, they would think she was crazy. What could she do? How could she save herself? The scariest people in Hinamizawa were coming to kill her. Could she run from them? Could she fight them? How? How? If she had remembered the scene of Takano killing her, she wouldn't have been so confused. Because seeing is believing. She didn't remember. This was just what Hanyu was telling her. She didn't want Takano to be her enemy. This was the truth she didn't want to accept. She was tempted to just say that this was all simply Hanyu's delusion. Calm down, Rika. We learned in our past life. You remember the previous world? Previous world? You mean the one where Rena spread gasoline all over the school and locked everyone inside? Oh no! We're on after that! You remember? In that world, he came back! Feihojo did! It's the worst possible world. No matter what we do, the counselors won't do anything. Takako goes insane within a few days. One from our circle of friends developed the syndrome and attacked Teppei, right? No! In the previous world, we all went to the child consultation center and saved Satoko! In that world, Keiji taught you so much! Taught you that you have to believe, otherwise a miracle won't occur! He also said that if anyone believes, our wish will definitely come true! Sure is something Keiji would say. That's great. Defeat the world where Teppei returns. Couldn't do anything about that world even once before. You know how Keiichi and the others in that world made a miracle happen? He talked to everyone. They didn't convince themselves it was useless or agonize over it by themselves. They asked everyone for help. That's how they brought about a miracle. Everyone. So, you want me to talk to Keiichi and the others about Takano? You really think they would believe me if I told them an organization like Tokyo is after me? Yes, they will! previous world! Why won't you believe me, Rika? Sorry. Not like that I don't believe you. You saw it, so it's the truth, isn't it? I had no idea how frustrating it would be not to remember it myself. Anyway, me going on and on about this won't solve anything. We don't have enough power on our own. We have our weapon. That weapon is the truth. We don't know her motive. We know that the culprit is Takano. This is a very good start, compared to all the other worlds. Why can't you remember it at the very end? New ground her teeth remorsefully. Saw the truth just a short time ago, so she couldn't believe that Riga didn't remember anything. It was something she had seen herself, then she wouldn't even need a motive. She had, and then that was why she couldn't understand. Why was her memory missing even when Hanyu's memory was still intact? Did that mean their long journey was about to end? Perhaps her infinitely repeating journey was already over. This was the last world of all. Ugh. This world is odd since everyone could see you and you even transferred to her school. Now I can really see how strange of a world this is. There's nothing strange about it. This is just the final world, that's all. Came to this final world so we can gather all our powers. I'm not a bystander here. I'm your ally. I see. You're no longer a bystander, huh? Decided not be afraid anymore. I'm not afraid, and I'm going to believe with all of you. A miracle will happen. This is a world where we can bet on. This June of 1983. Rika and Takano are fighting. If Rika doesn't defeat her enemy in time, we'll lose. Takano has many powerful pieces like the mountain dogs. Rika will need a lot more pieces to be able to defeat her. Unless Rika asks for help from many people and gathers an equal number of pieces, the game won't even begin. People learn the rules of this board game by playing the game repeatedly. It's like a game without a manual. We've learned the rules. Now we know how to fight. We're ahead in the game because we already know what pieces our enemy has. Rika, we have to get busy. We only have 1 week before Watsunagashi. We had 2 weeks in the previous world. We only have 1 week in this one. In other words, this is our final chance. Okay. Other than grieving over what I don't remember, I should be grateful that you do. Because if you didn't, this final world would end while we ran about in confusion. Also, if I talk to Kiichi and others in the right way, maybe they'll come up with some good ideas. Because he was the one who fought with Rena in that previous world. When the school was about to explode, he brought her back. Exactly! Anyway, let's go talk to anyone we can find. We're too weak by ourselves. Let's gather people and think about what to do. We have to take our first steps toward the miracle. We have to do that within a week. You had never encouraged her like this before. She'd always pretended to be a bystander. Never wanted to go through the pain of failure, so she never had expectations for anything. Now she was trying to intervene in this world so passionately and proactively. According to Hanyu, there had been another world after the one in which Rena occupied the school. Apparently, Keiichi really inspired her in that world. Yuka had nothing to lose. She had to talk to whoever she thought she could trust. And whether she tried or not, she only had a very short time left. She decided to do whatever she possibly could until that time arrived. She would never again act like it was cool to sip wine pretending to be a witch as the end closed upon her.
This is that woman again from before with this, with the young woman that was talking to Takano before.
Hello. It has been a while. This is Nomura. Yes, thank you for the detailed documents from the other day. That data, men from the Ministry of Health and Welfare now understand how dangerous Hinamizawa syndrome is. That's the accomplishment of you and the late Dr. Takano. I've only made sure that you receive your fair assessment is all. Anyway, I'll make sure the Prime Minister reads your documents. He's our leader, after all. I'll have the most important person in this country read your article. Make sure he understands what important research this is and why Hinamizawa syndrome is an issue that needs his attention. Also, I'll make sure the present board of directors realize how stupid they were to ignore your father's research, ridicule your grandfather's thesis. Indeed. I have great news for you. We've decided that after the operation is completed, the actual location will be isolated and shut down, and another department of the SDF will take over the research. You'll be welcome there, and you'll be able to continue your research for as long as you want without worrying about political factions or funding. And that's all thanks to your generous client who wants to reward you for your hard work. You'll be given the position of director, so you can devote yourself to your research. Isn't that wonderful? Finally, you'll be able to accomplish something that overturns common knowledge by researching Hinamizawa syndrome and the existence of parasites that influence human thought. No, I'm not just saying that to flatter you. That's what we really think. I see. Sorry to take up your time. I'm going now. I'll get in touch with you again.
The woman? Oh, fuck. I put down the handset of the car phone, then she picked it up again and made another call.
Transfer me to extension 1001. Yes, this is Watanabe. Watanabe. Yes, the issue from the other day has been taken care of. Yes. Major Takano's documents are wonderful. Made some people from the National Research Center go along so the men believed it without questioning. Yes. That's no problem either. Most of the cabinet ministers from enemy factions will be either leaving the country or going on vacation, so they'll be out of Tokyo after the 20th. Yes. There are still some unsettled issues, but everything will be set by June 23rd. Yes. Therefore, the on-site operation will take place at midnight on June 22nd, and the Prime Minister will be asked for emergency sanctions on the 23rd. Yes, everyone aiding the Prime Minister on that day will be our people. Won't even question a thing. Yes. I'm certain. Prime Minister will definitely sign Emergency Manual 34. Afterwards, an investigation into Alphabet's duties will be taken up, and the Okuno, Chiba, and Old Koizumi factions will lose a great deal of sway. Yes.
Yes. That's right. It's only a matter of time before we succeed with the Asian Amity and Reconstruction Summit. It's true. If there's money to spend on developing domestic nuclear arms, the Japanese-American alliance spanning on the Pacific, it would be more profitable for our nation to spend it on ODA towards China. 21st century will be the era of China, with their nation claiming a good portion of the world's population. Japan gets nothing out of wagging its tail for the US anymore. Yes. No. 21st century is almost here, yet we're still saying that communism is the greatest evil. Maybe we've been watching too many bad American propaganda movies.
Communism is the greatest evil.
Yes, I understand.
Sorry.
Okay then, I'll see you in Macau next week. Yes, I love to gamble. Yes, it was nice talking to you. Get in touch with you soon.
One put down the handset of her car phone and took a breath. She smiled in satisfaction and then picked up the handset again.
Give me the Chief Cabinet Secretary, please. Yes, this is Maizawa. Yes, it's me. Chief Okino.
Oh.
And I remember cutting it there.
Yeah. Wow, Nomura's pulling a lot of fucking strings. Holy shit.
Well, what?
Yeah, this is like actually really interesting with all this political shit. It's not just one crazy woman doing her shit. She's like
Just one
aiming with this older woman and stuff.
Wild.
Are we calling it there, or are we keep going?
I think we're gonna be cutting it there for now. It's about
All right.
midnight.
Yes, it's midnight.
Yeah, Nomura is pulling some really fucking harsh strings.
You went up for some Cold War tonight?
Not right now. Because I can't really, I don't have it on PC, so it's kind of hard for me to, I guess, just... Also because it's late at night, and I don't really want to fucking hear yelling about COD.
What to do?
That being said, we will be, we're actually cutting the stream a little bit early tonight. I know I normally do, like, Dead by Daylight or something, but for right now, we're just gonna...
so is the stream, so we're not live anymore, right?
We're about to be not live. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw and you'd like to see more, please consider following me, so I don't have to keep making these stupid pleas for help. God.
Follow these nuts. Got 'em.
So true. Good night.